Hi, this is 365 and this is my Manga Freakathon vlog. It's now past midday. I, last night, kind of on a whim, decided to put a poll up on Instagram, and I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram because I've only been doing it for a wee while. Well, that's my excuse. But I'm also not very consistent. And I put the poll to see which of my 2-volume series do I want to read, and it was Mr. Mistress and MADK. And I just did it on a whim. I just like, oh, okay, I've got a wee image, but I didn't put pictures of them. So anyway, I only got 4 votes this morning. I mean, it had only been a few hours, but I only got 4 votes, and 2 of them were for Mr. Mistress and 2 of them were for MADK, and so I was the tie vote. So my vote is for MADK just because I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. You know, this is new, this is old. That's kind of, like, I am more excited about the new stuff. It's kind of obvious that when I get a new title that's published, I will have a, like, 60% higher chance of reading it. Like, I did the numbers. I do the numbers every year. And every year it's like, yeah, I read almost everything that I buy that's published that year. And all of the out of print older stuff just goes on a shelf going, well, I can read you whenever. So I will read this, and this will go in another poll. I might actually, because I've uploaded my video for my TBR, I've done my wee promo bit on Twitter, I did my little promo bit on Instagram, that's all done. So now I was thinking I might just do like photographs for each of these and have it all ready in my phone so that I know. So this is like a 2-day thing. So the next poll will go up on Twitter because I want to alternate Twitter and Instagram. And so the next poll will go up on Twitter in maybe in a day's time, and then I'll give myself a day or 2 to read these. And so I'm thinking like pit my 2 Doki Dokis against each other. Like that kind of thing. So I should take photographs deciding on what I want to read, and then the other things will go into the next bracket, the next category, and so I can take pictures halfway through the month. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my time reading all this. But I'm gonna start with MADK just because I cannot wait. What else am I doing today? I am gonna have to get ready and do a bit of tidying. I have a chicken that I bought, but I might make mushroom soup. We also have a Grand Prix this weekend. Woo! And I also would like to maybe do a bit of more editing for things. I've been really lax, but I'm feeling good about life right now, which is great. I have not felt like vlogging at all for a full month. I've been really low. But anyway, I'm feeling much better about things. So I'm feeling in the spooky season of sweater weather. Sweater weather. Sweater weather. I feel like I should put on a nice big sweater, but I do have my poncho and that's kind of like it. And maybe go for a walk and get in some things. So yeah, this month I'm just going to be doing some quick ones. So hopefully this video won't be too long. But you know me. You know me. So yeah. Let's get started on MADK. So very excited about opening these. I definitely need to be very careful with the plastic, but it's quite tight, so not surprising. It's a BL. It's a BL manga. There we go. Woo. The fact that they're all wrapped up is indicative of what the content. I do like this almost like silver background. It's a grey, but it looks very metallic with this matte and gorgeous artwork on the inside. So yeah, interesting. Very mature.
And we may as well open this one up as well, because I've had it sitting in my drawer with the plastic on, I think since December. So almost a year. Just because there's no point if I wasn't planning on reading it to open it up. So there we go. And what's the inside artwork like? Ooh, nice. Very happy about that. This one's quite chunky compared to this one. It's a bit of a difference, you see? So yeah, this one obviously is getting this party started. This one is where the party's at. So yeah, I'm gonna start with MADK. I just love this. This is just so good. It's very much a different kind of story, so I think it's very appropriate for Manga Freakathon. We'll see how many of the prompts in the bingo board I can tick off with this. I'm already thinking Psycho because reading the blurb at the back, Makoto does not seem like, you know, the most mentally sound person. I don't know. We'll see. There's definitely a chance of getting a few from the bingo board just with these two. So let's give them a wee read. So I've just finished reading just the first chapter of this, and I think I can already say that they're so it's just this. There's loads. Yeah, I've made a little list of things. So here I got, is there a storm? No. Is there a cycle? Makoto is definitely, he even talks about it himself. He's very much aware that he is not someone who society will allow to exist, and so, and yet in a way he's kind. He's a kind psycho because he's aware, and so that's why he does what he does, to try and avoid killing other humans. So I would say yes, there's a cycle. At the start there is darkness because he's doing this in his room. Bones. I think there was bones in this as well. There's definitely talk of bones because it's eroguro and pretty disgusting. But I think, was there images of like roadkill or something here? There. But I don't know if it's bones exactly. It's pretty gross. It's more like a leg of some animal or something. I don't know. I might save that. That's a maybe till further on in the thing. So that bones is a maybe. Definitely a demon. Oh my goodness! Like, boom! There's your demon straight away without even. And he's demon summoning. So yes, demon. Candle. I haven't seen a candle yet. Undead. Well, I don't know. Does that count as undead? Because he's been killed, so he's like, oh, wait, I'm still alive? And he's like, no, you're very, very dead. Well, your body is. So I don't know if he's dead or not. Because he's still technically, like, talking and stuff. So is he undead? I don't know. And he screams? Did he scream at one point? I think he did. But he's more of a shout than a scream. So we'll leave that one. Definitely some magic for his demon summoning. No candy. Weapons for the very first. as soon as he's it. This is one of the. There's so many chibis. So many chibis in this. I do think I need to do Chibi-Tober again. Look at him. I want to eat demon flesh. And he's got his wee knife from when he stabbed his arm and put the blood there. Look at that wee face! He's, Chibi-Tober might just have to be happening. Woods, cat, chainsaw, fangs. I don't know if there's fangs. Does he have fangs? Does the demon have fangs? I don't know if I should show you. I'm not sure if this is fangs. It's the most, yeah, they're pretty... They are quite long, aren't they? Maybe they're fangs? I think they're pretty long. Actually, maybe they are fangs. Yeah, so fangs as well then. Trick, don't know what that is. Curse, no. Well, he's kind of cursed. Death, there's definitely death. He died. So if he's the undead, he's definitely dead. Fear, yeah, there's a bit of that. Definitely in this one. But is it fear? I think I'll leave that one because I think it'll definitely come up in the rest of this volume. Murder. I don't think he technically murdered him. He's a demon. Is it called murder when a demon kills you? It's what they're supposed to do, right? So, did he murder him? No. Spider, no. Accident, no. Creepy. It's very creepy. The whole I want to eat you and then have sex with you, you're a half body, yeah. So I knew I was gonna love this. It's great. So yeah, there's a lot already just in this first chapter. So we'll see how far I can get with this. So good. So good. So I've just finished the full volume. I love it. It's so good. So good. So just to check what we've got. Bones. Right at the end. Apparently, where is it? Look at this. And I love how it says fan service shop. Ooh, check out that skeleton. It is October, so we've definitely got bones. We've definitely got bones. No storms, no fights, not really. Well, there is a bit of a fight, but it's not a physical fight. I mean, it's more of an argument when Mako is like, no, I will not be a demon. He decides that he's not having it. And he's a bit very angry with him. So I guess that's a maybe. No candles. Not really. I'm still not sure of the undead. I just think that they're demons now. So candy, woods, cat, chainsaw, trick, curse, death, fear. There's definitely fear. There's definitely a point where he gets told that he has to go in service at the brothel in hell, and he says, "I'm scared." So, and then who is it? It's Jay. He gets pissed at him and shouts. So there's definitely fear. Murder, nope. Spider, accident. So actually, for one volume, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I might make a little image to show that. I'll take photographs or something and put it on Twitter. Or I might do it for MAGK 2 as well and see if there's any of those in here. I don't know, I should probably check to see if there's any candles. Candles seems like it might. But they also seem to have electricity in hell. Which I was like, on the lookout for it. And well, I found a few other things. Oh, there you go, candle! Yay! See? I knew that would be. There's a candle. Where's candle? Candle, candle. There it is. Boom! Another one. I knew there'd be another one. Yeah, it's there. They're having dinner. I knew there would be. I thought there has to be. There has to be. So yeah, I don't think there's been a storm. Other than an argument rather than a fight. The undead. They're demons, so I don't really feel like that is it. Screams. Are there any? Oh, there was a scream! There was a scream. Where was it? It's when he's working in the brothel. And I think he doesn't say anything in this one. But I think when he's working, someone else screams. Maybe there's lots of shouting. Shivers and shudders. Definitely fear. Now that he's in hell, there's definite fear. But when he gets into the brothel, he has to deal with it. Yeah. Is that a scream? Is that a scream? I don't know, I think that's more of a shout. Gya. Lots of gyagyas. They're more like shouting. So I don't know if it's a scream of like shuddery fear and that kind of thing, like ah! But there's definite fear. The bit that I like the most is this bit. If you've read it, you'll know it's good, or you're like ooh, ooh. So yeah, an accident. I don't really know what that would constitute. Someone dropping something? I don't know. No spiders, murder. Is he cursed? Probably, but it's not like an actual curse. A trick. What kind of trick? I mean, Jay does play a lot of tricks on him. I don't know. I'll wait and see what MADK Volume 2 has to say on the matter. But there seems to be an awful lot coming from just this one volume for the bingo board. So we'll see if this together constitutes a 5 in a row. I have to put it on the bingo board to see. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. I knew I was going to love it. I knew I was going to really enjoy it. It's very much Eroguro, but there's plot there, and so that's what I'm looking for. In my BL, it's not just about this mexiness. It's about the plot, and this seems to be, you know, high fantasy horror for BL, which is great. So yeah, my next one is MEDK. I'm gonna watch a bit of Grand Prix stuff, and then see how it's formed on the bingo board.
So I've got my fancy leggings on and silly socks. I'm going out because the weather is actually quite nice. We've had rainy days and windy days, and it's nice and autumnal, so I'm going to go out and get some exercise. So it was a good wee walk. It was very nice and pleasant with the sunshine, and then all of a sudden the rain was falling. But I did find a good bush. I found a good bush for some blackberries. So I'm going to tip them all out and have to wash my bag because some of them were maybe a little bit on the overdone side. But I wasn't planning on getting anything. I just brought my bag with me in case I ended up going to the shops, but I didn't because of the rain. And then by the time I'd finished collecting some of these, the rain had stopped. I think that's them all. Turn my bag inside out and you can see. This is what happened. I bought raspberries in the shops, and they also ended up spilling out, so this bag has just become soft fruit bag. So I'm gonna need to de-stem some of them, get rid of some of the stuff. So it's not a huge haul, and they're not terribly big, like little ones. So I need to give them a wee wash, and then I'll probably just freeze them and make jam out of them at some point. But yeah, very autumnal. I was thinking about getting some rose hips because there's loads of rose hips at the moment.
and making some sort of like rosehip jelly or rosehip ketchup or something, but I don't know. That seems maybe beyond me. Jam seems like a better thing to do. But yeah, I'll wash these and put them in the freezer.
So I've got volume 2 to start today. The Grand Prix on in a bit. It's been delayed, and I was going through my list and making the little visual for how many, and it's like with the free thing I'm like 12 prompts, but no bingo yet. No bingo yet. So let's see if I bring this over. So we're looking for a storm, a fight, the undead, a scream, some candy, woods, cat. Was there woods in there? I don't think there was woods. Was there? A cat, chainsaw, a trick, a curse, murder, a spider, and an accident. That's what we're looking for in this volume of MADK. It's chunkier than the first one, and I'm mad at it. I'm really looking forward to it. It is beautiful. Lovely, lovely artwork. And I love all of the dark work just as much as I love all of the beautiful light stuff. So, like, we've got some great artwork. Look at him being all evil and shit. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. But as I said, there is a Grand Prix on today, so that'll take up a bit of time. And also, I have a whole chicken to cook. I've one of those chicken ones, you buy it and it's already in the tray in the bag, and you just can cook it as it is. But I might open it up and put like garlic and herbs and stuff on it. I don't know. I've yet to decide. But I've got some cabbage and some potatoes, and I'm probably making like a proper roast dinner today. Minus any Yorkshire puddings. Or I might have it with sweet corn. Sweet corn and mashed potato and chicken is good. Maybe I'll do both. You know? Go the whole hog with the veg. Anyway, this is what I'm reading today as well. And oh, I'm so excited. I love it. It was definitely, like, it's been months. I've been waiting to read this. Months. And I'm super excited. So I've got my chicken in the oven. It's about to come out in about 5-10 minutes. And I've got some cabbage and I'm making some mashed potato. And I just finished MEDK. Had a good Grand Prix and all that. It was entertaining enough. Though, of course, it went on for a lot longer. Anyway, let's go through what we got. Okay, so was there a fight in this volume? There were a couple of fights. Physical ones as well as arguments. Was there a scream? There was definitely a scream, especially when Jay's head came out of his tongue. That was like, there was a ah moment. I'm still not sure about the undead. I'm sure I can get that some other time. So far, there's quite a lot. Here we go. Some woods, I don't think. A cat or chainsaw, no. A trick, for sure. That first time when Mako goes to collect some souls, he was tricked by Jay. I mean, Jay's always tricking him, but that was definitely a trick. He's cursing his name, but I'm not sure if it's like an actual curse. Or, you know, like one of those hereditary curses, or curse you. You know, what do I mean by curse, and what is an appropriate curse? Because, I mean, Mako is constantly trying to kill him and constantly saying, I will destroy you. So he's cursing him, but not really in the same way. And then we've got an accident. He accidentally does a lot of things in this, like accidentally getting that weird pig head guy's head chopped off, or accidentally getting hurt and causing Kay to be damaged and ultimately getting his wings. So there's a lot of accidents in here. So yeah, no spiders, no real murder, not a curse in the magical sense, but curse. I think he's cursed as well. Mako's cursed as well. No chainsaws, cats or woods, no candy, no real undead, and no storms so far. So yeah, I mean, another good old whack. That's a lot. I wonder if I've got a bingo from that.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just with these 2 volumes of MADK. I mean, I gotta say, by the end of this volume, I felt sorry for, you know, you're on Mako's journey and you're like, yeah, you get revenge. But there's also a kind of feeling of everyone getting collateral damage, and Tatensho is definitely collateral damage, and Kei is also collateral damage. The pighead guy's collateral damage. I mean, there's an awful lot of people who are getting kind of swept up or caught up in this story that are not, you know, particularly part of it, I guess. But yeah. Poor Tatensho. Aww. Fjord is looking dapper in his new suit, but also I'm like, I'd watch out for your head now, pal. Mako's got his eyes set on ya. You might not be friends anymore. But yeah, this was a good volume. I'm looking forward to volume 3 now. It is very Eroguro, and I think that's what's interesting about it, is because it is very plot based, but it is quite heavily sex based as well. So if you don't enjoy that, what I did enjoy, and I'm not going to show you, is Kei's. I was like, oh, I was like, there's more than one down there. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out, it's very interesting. But yeah, so I'll have to put another post up about what I found in here, but also for my next read. So I will put up another poll, but this poll will be on Twitter and not Instagram. I want to kind of do them alternate between Twitter and Instagram, because I only got 4 votes on Instagram, so maybe there'll be more votes on Twitter. I don't know, it's a Sunday, so maybe not so many. We'll see. But yeah, I'll have to decide what I'm going to read next for this. But I'm so happy I finally got to read this. It's really good. Yeah, I'm going to look forward to volume 3 and my chicken dinner. So, it's been a few hours. The next day, I did put up the, sort of, what's the word for it? Survey on Twitter. Is survey a really old word? Anyway, and I think my BL mutes came through, and they're all pointing in the vampire and his pleasant companions. There's still a couple of hours left, but it's 75%. Versus 25%. I will be reading these, like all of the ones that I'm putting up. It's just going to go into a different bracket. So this one is getting the next read anyway. So I'm really excited about it. I'm very happy. I just put up my next video a few hours ago. I still need to do an Instagram post for it. I haven't done that yet. It's got some NetGalley stuff when I read Wolfsong. So if you're interested, go and watch that. I did some fun things. So it was a good vlog. But I also have, that's my new TV, by the way. It's huge. Look how big it is compared to the other one. It's probably like an extra 5 inches bigger or something. I don't know. Hey, those inches. Get those inches, girl. Get those inches. Anyway, Meg with Books, who I do love. I love watching Meg. So yeah, she's got a new one that was just published yesterday, I think. What's the date? Today, the 3rd? So yeah, I've got a horror book, 7 days, and it's like a whole hour. So I've got that to watch. And then I've got this to read. And I also have a chicken that I had in the oven yesterday. I need to pick it, all the chicken bits, and then put it in a pot to make some broth, because that's what I do here. And I also have a banana in the oven. It's got another like 30 minutes or something. So yeah, I've got another banana bread. This is my 3rd. I'm feeling good, but now I'm out of bananas, so I've used up all the bananas. I feel good. I've been just doing really well with my food and stuff, so it's very autumnal feeling. But I'll probably go to the shops tomorrow and get another veg box if they've got any, because they're just such good value, £1.50 for all that food. So yeah, we'll see if we can get one of them tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. It is Yen Press. It's 4 volumes. I only have this first one because they're pretty pricey because they are Yen Press. We're going to see what I need to get. I don't think I have that many things left to do in terms of the bingo board. So we'll see if we can get any. A storm? I think a storm is in this. I'm trying to remember what Simply G said when she was reviewing it. That there might be a storm or something. Or maybe that's in a later volume. So we'll have to see. I don't see any storms. Oh, rain! Ah ha ha ha! Yay! Okay. Spoilers, spoilers. But I think there might be a storm in there. So at least that's one thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this a wee read and watch a little bit of Meg. So, just finished reading The Vampire and His Pleasant Companions, Volume 1. Does make me want to read the rest. And I was going through my list to see what I've got. There was a lot of rain at the end. And I'm not sure, does this count as a storm? I'm going to put it down as a storm because it's very rainy. It's either rainy season, which doesn't necessarily mean there's storms so much as there's a lot of rain, but it could be raining and it's September, and that's when they've got typhoon season, and that would be storms. Anyway, I'm going to put it down as storm. And then we've got undead. Well, obviously he is a vampire, so he's the undead. Although he is dead, but he's not, as you can see. And then we've got Candy, and he went to a shop. He went to a shop, and he didn't buy anything. But when he was there was lots of things like sweets and things. But there was potato chips and snacks and stuff. And I would say these wee panda things. That looks like Pocky. But these wee panda things for sure are like little panda sweets. They're very delicious. So I will put that down as candy. So that's quite good. And then woods. Now he is in like this. This looks like woods to me, doesn't it? Bit of trees together. But I think he's in a park. But there are trees and stuff behind him, so that'll be for woods. No cats. I would say cursed because we do talk about him being cursed because he's not a full vampire. But also the detectives, they actually talk about there being a curse on the poor guys working. I don't know where it would be. Is it halfway through? Here it is. Guards going nuts on us 2 days in a row. Must be a curse. Because he's turning into a bat. And then murder. Well, he turned into a vampire, or a defective vampire, because of the lady. When he tells the story, there's a lady who was not doing a very good job of turning him into the vampire. I don't know where it is. Somewhere. So that lady kind of killed him because he's talking about how he became a vampire by that she didn't finish the job, apparently. That's how it happened. Anywho. And then, what's the next one? And then right at the end, I would say that's pretty much, that's a cliffhanger to end on. If you haven't read this already, I recommend it. But this is pretty good. So I would definitely say there's murder in this. No spiders. So that's quite a lot actually. So let's give this a wee tick off. But I say there was a storm. And undead, for sure. And candy. And woods. No chainsaws. A curse. And murder. Which means I need to get a spider. I need to get a chainsaw. I need to get a cat. And that's it. So it's pretty good, really. In 3 volumes, I just need to get 3 more. But I don't know where I'm going to get a chainsaw. I mean, a cat and a spider. Not terribly difficult. But a chainsaw? I mean, I know it's for everyone who wants to read... What's that thing? Chainsaw Man? Whatever it's called. I ain't really all that bothered about. So, I don't know. We'll see if I can find something with a chainsaw. But I don't really mind what we're doing for cats or spiders. What am I going to read next? I'll give it a little Twitter... Oh no, we're going to do it on Instagram now. A little Instagram poll to see what I read next. So we'll see what I read next. I don't know. But this was good. Poor Al. It's a shitty life. It's a pretty shitty life. And, you know, he doesn't get treated very well as a human. He got treated better as a bat. But even then, he didn't get treated terribly well. So yeah, it's kind of... I don't know. But I do want to read the rest of it, so I need to get volume 2, 3, and 4. So that goes on my list of titles to pick up. I do think Naruse Konohara has a particular way of writing stories, and they're not always brilliant, but I do like her generally. And Marimo Ragawa has a particular style, and does make me want to pick up New York, even though it will probably break my heart and be sort of old-fashioned, but still, you know, classics and all that. So yeah, I wonder what I'm gonna read next. I have no idea. But I did make my banana bread, and I did eat some of my previous banana bread, and it was delicious. So I'm very happy about that. But it is quite late in the evening, and I'll probably read something tomorrow. Okay, so I just got this in the post. I made a little wheel and put it up. This is volume 1, which means I now have the full complete set of To Take an Enemy's Heart, which I'm really happy about, because volume 1 was tricky to get hold of, but as you can see here, it does say second printing June 2022. So this is part of their... They have reprinted it. That was the big issue, was how difficult it was to get hold of, because they weren't doing a second printing, but they have now done one. So go check this out if you are needing volume 1. I got volume 1 and volume 2 in the second printing, and I'm quite happy about that, because if you don't pick up some things straight away, sometimes it does make it a little bit more tricky. So I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg. It does say US $12.99, and it was, I think, £10 something for me. So, and I think it came all the way from the US, probably. But I'm very happy about this. We are about to do either Blood Honey or Devil's Bride. And when I first did the photograph and chose these two, I thought, I really want to do Blood Honey. And so I hope people don't pick Devil's Bride. But I am going to be doing Sweet Blood, and that is also a Se Young Kim title. So this is like OG Se Young Kim. And after I flicked through it, I was like, oh, this actually looks really good. Even if it is just one volume. But it turns out Blood Honey Plus has been chosen. This is Sakyo Yozakura. This is a blue title, an old blue title. It's just this one volume. And I'm less enthused about it now, because I suddenly got really like, ooh, Devil's Bride, ooh. So this will go back into the pile of things to be voted on later in the month. unfortunately. But I kind of thought it would be good to do it before I read Sweet Blood, but I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to do this in this vlog or if I'm going to do a separate vlog for it, because it is the buddy read that I'm doing with Katie this month, and we're doing it throughout the whole month. It just depends on whenever you start and whenever you finish. We're giving ourselves a lot of time. So yeah, other than these three that I've already managed to get everything except for a spider, a cat, and a chainsaw. And I don't think I'm going to get any of them in this. So we'll just have to see. I'm going to make some food because I'm absolutely starving. I'm feeling actually like I'm talking a lot faster than I normally would, because I am low energy, low blood sugar. I've had like 1 cup of coffee today and a slice of banana bread. From my old banana bread. I haven't even started my new one yet. So yeah, I've got some chicken. I've got potatoes. I'm going to make mashed potato and cabbage and chicken, and it's going to be a nice dinner. So I'm going to eat dinner first before I read, because I think I might collapse otherwise. So yeah, this is what's been chosen. This was from Instagram. I only got 6 votes, but 4 of them were for this. 2 of them were for Devil's Bride. See, it was very close. It was very close. So I just finished reading Blood Honey. It's got a nice colour image on the front. It was published in 2010 March, and it is trash. It's pretty much trash. The only real sex that's depicted is with the high schooler. They've got like adult characters. Yet the sex scene that's written, and most of the sexual scenes involve the teenage vampire who is, well, I'm not going to slut shame any teenage vampires here, but Kiri Kurosu is very happy to get it on with the monk. It was quite explicit as well. Considering this is a blue title. It was very silly. The book, it follows Mayuzumi and Yuki. Yuki works as a nurse, specifically in a blood bank, trying to collect furtively some samples of blood, because Yuki is a descendant of vampires, but due to the bloodline being greatly reduced, the only thing that Yuki really wants or needs as a vampire is a little bit of blood every now and again. And it's mainly just because, delicious. It's tasty. Mayuzumi, on the other hand, is a hot-blooded person who has like a split personality. When they don't have their blood removed on a regular basis, they have a bit of a temper and become hot-headed and violent and aggressive, and so he ends up going to get his blood removed and donated every once in a while by Yuki, and they end up meeting in that respect. And Kiri, the teenager, is Yuki's nephew, so there's a connection there too. It's very silly, it's very nonsensical, it's not good. It's not good. It's not terrible though, but it's very throwaway. And unfortunately, I only have 3 prompts left for the bingo, and one was a cat, there was no cats. One was a spider, there was no spiders, and one is a chainsaw, and there were no chainsaws. So unfortunately, it didn't add any more to my bingo board. So I'm gonna have to put up the poll. This one will be on Twitter because it's the next one on the list. So I'll see what our next read is, but I'm kind of sad that I read this all the way through and it didn't add anything. It did have lots of things in it, you know, like the undead and stuff. So it would have had other bingos, but it is what it is. I am going to have maybe a cup of tea and some banana bread, and maybe work on a video, because I have a list of videos that I was working on and also ones that I want to work on. So I might do that for a wee bit this evening and put up a post on Twitter to see what's my next choice. So it is the next day, and these were the two that were being voted on Twitter. I put only 12 hours for this poll, and there was 9 votes, which is cool. And I think this got 5 and this got 4, so it was actually really, really close. I would have been happy reading either of them. This one's brand new, it's still got its plastic on. This one I've had in the collection for a while now, but I've never read it. This will just go in the pile. I'll put it over here. So these are the ones that are going to be voted on after I've finished these ones. So those are the next ones to be voted on. But these will get read in October. They just won't get read. And I'll have to decide Mr. Mistress versus Tokighoul and Devil's Bride versus Wild Honey. We'll see who wins in that one. But today's read is going to be Wild Wild Wildlife by Hyogo Kijima, and this is a Kuma title. I was going to leave earlier today, but my dad phoned, and I was on the phone for about an hour and a half or something like that. We were mostly talking about Formula 1 and the FIA announcement that we're waiting on to see what the drama is. Looking forward to next week. We've got Suzuka, so it's Japan again. So Japan! I'll get to see all lots of Japanese stuff and listen to them talk Nihongo. But yeah, so I'm gonna take this off. I was gonna go, but I need to phone the doctors to get some results back. And I don't think they're open until 2 for results. So I might just have my lunch and read this, and then, or at least some of this, and then I pop down because I was planning on going to the shops anyway. I want to see if I can get another one of those little boxes with all the fruit and veg. If not, I'll probably just pick up some bananas and let them go bad because I'm loving my banana bread. It's nice to be able to just bung everything together, or maybe I could make a carrot cake. That would be nice. I might have the things needed for carrot cake. The thing is, I also want to try and see if I can, I might want to make Christmas cakes. You're supposed to make them in September and then slowly feed them for several months. And Christmas cakes are actually quite expensive to buy before Christmas. After Christmas they're dead cheap because people want rid of them. But they're still kind of expensive. It's like £12 for a small cake. And with cost of living going up, it's probably still going to be quite expensive. Whereas actually making the cake, because I have quite a lot of the ingredients anyway, I could just pick up a few ingredients while I'm in Lidl and see if I can make them. The key is, the secret is to add a jar of mincemeat. I know, it's like, well, that's kind of obvious. And lots of brandy. But anyway, Wild Wild Wildlife. I might have something to eat and then pop along to the shops after my phone call, because it's a wee while. It's like 1:30, something like that, so I'll have to take the plastic off. Okay, so I went to the shops. I didn't get a veg box, unfortunately, so I might go and see if I can get one tomorrow. But I did get this little mini pumpkin. It's super cute. And it just kind of goes with my roses, and I'll maybe light the candle. I did read Wild Wild Wildlife, and it's pretty pants, if I'm honest. It's very much, it's probably best to look at it in this way. There's lots of different short comics. One's about anthropomorphic animals. Some are like wolves type kind of thing, and goat men and wolf men, and it's not good. And then this other one with little boy androids, not good. And then there's this one, which was a steampunk one, which was a mining one, was not good. And then there was the corpse one, which was a zombie BL, which actually wasn't too bad. I actually didn't mind that one. Which was good, because I did definitely come across some undead in this one, and therefore it was good enough for an October read, just because of this one shot. The Pink Badass one was not good. But it did have a cat in it that was like a toy cat, so I guess I can put down cat. I need to be careful of what I can show, which isn't a lot. Here it is. He goes to a fancy house and there's, well, is it a cat? It's a bear or something. And then this, let me know, is that a cat? It must be a cat. Look at its ears and its wee, yeah, look at its paws. It's a cat, so it's kind of a cat. So I did find a cat. And I found some undead. And then right at the end, as I was just gonna, there's cat ears, boy. Does that count? This last one, the Takamaru charm, awful, terrible. I'm kind of convinced that I know now why this book was reduced in price and so cheap from Amazon, because it is a Kuma. So it's fantastic quality. I mean, the quality of the publications Kuma put out is just fantastic. The paper quality is lovely and white, the ink, the printing, perfect. These lovely covers, really nice. I mean, it's just really lovely. Kuma put a lot of effort into it, and I do want to applaud them for that. Their choices are always very interesting and different. And this is, yeah, the explicit, very explicit. And it's very much porn without too much plot. There is some plot, but it's not really that much, to be fair. So I found a cat, even if it's not a real cat. So I can still put it down as one, which means I still have to find a spider and a chainsaw. And I don't know if I'm going to get a chainsaw in anything. I'm sure I can get a spider at some point, surely. Yeah, I mean, I always planned to read this, and now I've done it, and it was really quick because, like I said, no plot, just porn. So like you'll read like 3 or 4 pages of you know, like a man delivering a pizza. kind of setup, and then the rest is just fucking, and then you're on to the next story, and it's a man, you know, fixing your washing machine, and a 2 or 3 pages of dialogue of that, and then it's just, the rest is just fucking. So it's like it's literally just like porn. Yeah, Kyogo Kijima's work is not exactly to my taste. And a lot of these stories, I know, are the kind of stories that a lot of people say, BL, and this is what they would point to as being like problematic. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yes, probably. You know, I don't particularly like seeing young boys depicted, even if they are androids, sure, whatever. Or people being raped. No, it's not gang raped in the woods. No, it's not. I mean, that's the thing, like if it's plot driven, and I feel for the characters, then it's really traumatic. But when it's like this, and it's literally fluff pieces, then you don't feel anything for the characters because there's no basis for you to feel anything. But that's what a lot of BL or yaoi was for a long time. I'm getting into a history lesson, but it is a lot of what June manga published for years and years and years, and this feels like that kind of thing. So nothing groundbreaking and nothing phenomenal in terms of a modern BL. It feels very sort of like of that time period and not something that's fairly new. Even though it's lovely, it's got lovely matte sort of velvety finish. So I'm happy I read it. And I can put cat down, I suppose. Does it count? I'm gonna make it count because then I've only got a spider and a chainsaw, and I swear I'm not gonna find a chainsaw. So we'll see if I ever actually get this finished. But what will I read next is the question. I'll put a photograph of Wolf God and A Bloody Kiss Tonight by Makoto Tatano. This one is by Ai Tenkawa. And they're both the Battle of the Doki Dokis. And we'll see which one will be next. This is obviously like a werewolfy thing, and this one is obviously a vampire thing. So we'll see which one is next. Wee video or a photo. Hiya! Oh, so gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. You come to visit me? Oh, there we go. Did you enjoy a wee bit of chicken? Oh, was it good chicken? Oh, was it good chicken? You just saying hi? So after having a little visitor, I made some soup. It's like chicken and egg drop soup with sweet corn and radishes and lots of ginger and garlic, and there's some noodles. There's some nudes in there somewhere. So it's a bit like there they are. So it's very filling as well. It just looks so nice and autumnal with the different colours. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with my little go of making this. Hopefully it's delicious too. But yeah, I'm wondering, I just put up the poll on Instagram this time, so we'll see what it's going to be, Wolf God or A Bloody Kiss Tonight. Now, it is the next day, and there's been a few more hours when we've had the poll up on Instagram this time, and it was between Wolf God and A Bloody Kiss Tonight, and seems like this was overwhelmingly the winner, 80% of the vote for A Bloody Kiss Tonight. So I guess this is what I'm going to be reading today. I already had a bit of things I need to do on the computer today, and then I had a lunch break that was a bit longer than it probably should have been, and I ended up watching some YouTube videos. Lots of people had posted some things up. I haven't decided. It's like dinner time now. I think it's actually quite late. It's kind of grey looking outside. It's not a brilliant day, and I've been feeling a bit meh, so I've had this like blanket wrapped around me most of the day. One of these like larger scarves. I'm kind of feeling like I need to just cozy under a blanket and snuggle into a book this evening. But I need to make something to eat because I've only had a bagel today with some homemade jam, which was delicious, and a cup of coffee. And I think I probably need to have something that's a bit more sustainable, i.e. I need to be sustained. Anyway, what I'm looking for in this book is a spider and a chainsaw. I do not think I will find a chainsaw. But maybe I'll find a spider? Who knows? Maybe it'll be like some jewelry or something. You know, some sort of emo type thing. I feel like this might be my best bet in terms of getting a spider from this. It might just be some decoration or something. But yeah, wish me luck. I only have these two things to get, a chainsaw and a spider. So we'll see what this one has to bring. Okay, so it is Friday. I finished A Bloody Kiss Tonight last night in bed. So this is everything that I've read already, and I've got everything in the bingo board except for a chainsaw. And this is everything on the list that I didn't read, that I still plan to. And obviously we've got Sweet Blood as well, which is the buddy read with Katie, which reminds me I really need to just purchase volume 7. That would just be good, wouldn't it? But I only have a chainsaw left to get, and I don't think I can get a chainsaw in any of these. Wait, is there one in Tokyo Ghoul? I don't know. Anyway, so as you can see, there are Mr. and Mistress volumes 1 and 2, Tokyo Ghoul, Devil's Bride, Wild Honey, and Wolf God. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titles, even though it's 6 volumes. And if I'm putting up on the sort of like polls on either Twitter or Instagram, I know I can put up 3, so maybe I should just choose 3 randomly and put them up. Or should I go with these 3 as they were the first ones and then have this as a separate one, or then add them in as I go? I think that might be a way to do it. Anyway, I'm going to give myself maybe today off from reading. It's the 7th day, I should rest. I have been reading some other things as well. I've not been very productive today, and I feel like just having a bath, maybe with some bubbles, and chilling and relaxing. So, yeah, I will put up these 3. How about that? Mr. Mistress, Tokyo Ghoul, and Devil's Bride on the poll. I don't know if it's Twitter or Instagram, so we'll see what tomorrow's read will be. So I had another poll on Twitter, I think it was, and it was between these 3, and Tokyo Ghoul won. Then Mr. and Mistress came second, and Devil's Bride got absolutely none, and that was the one that I was thinking I really wanted to read. So that's the order in which I'm going to read them. While I was waiting for that poll, I did read Light She Light Club, because it's one that I try to read every year in October, and it takes no time at all, especially after you've read it a few times. It is very disturbing, it's very bloody and gory, it's very horror filmed, but as it does have a little bit of boy on boy action, I'm always like, well, it's gonna be, yeah. So yeah, I don't think I would recommend it to everyone unless you're into horror and you kind of like messed up stories. I really enjoy it. It's very dark. I wouldn't say I enjoy all aspects of it, but I think it's, you know, it's looking at subversive things. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Anyway, I'll add that to my pile of books that I've read so far. I also read Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. It's the only volume I have, and I haven't actually ever read it. I did watch the anime, and it's kind of exactly as I remember, pretty much. It was a long time ago that I watched it, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched bits of it, maybe the first season, or maybe like the first half of the first season. I don't know exactly how much I watched. I do remember watching, maybe it was into the second season, I got a guy rode a motorcycle into a building like on the 3rd or 4th or 5th floor or something, and then just shot everyone up or something like that. I don't know. And I was like, okay, so it's officially jumped the shark. Great, I don't need to watch this anymore. That was me. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. I just remember thinking this was a bit weird and a bit interesting, but I found like it was kind of anxiety inducing, because at no point did any of the characters move in a logical way for me, so I found it a little bit meh. But I did enjoy this first volume. It was fine. It was fast paced. It took me no time at all to read. So yeah, it was okay. It was only okay, but I'll put that in my pile as well. So I'm doing quite well. I then read, see, I've been busy. Oh, there's a hair. Mistress Volume 1. So I haven't read Volume 2 yet, which is like the kidney cost one. Very appropriate for Halloween. So yeah, I read the first volume. He ends up in a house that his great-grandfather owned, and this incubus kind of lives in the house as a demon spirit until he can soak up all of the sexual energy, and he hasn't had anyone who has enough sexual energy to be able to corporealize. Is that the word for it? And then he, as a teenage boy, comes into the house and he's like, yes, sexual energy. So he starts to kind of haunt his dreams until he can manifest a physical body, and then he becomes his homeroom teacher. So yeah, I enjoyed the first volume. It was very silly, very nonsensical. So yeah, I will be reading volume 2 next. Just because it's like, woo, volume 2. So yeah, that can go in my pile as well. So I'm doing quite well. This will be the next one I read. So I'll read this one and then this one. And then these two, I'll put a poll up to see who's the last one, the least popular. And then I'll start my buddy read for the month, which is Sweet Blood. I do need to order volume 7. I'm just going to, I think Amazon have put it down to £8 something, so I guess that's how much I'm going to pay for it. So I can actually read it. But I do want to read Devil's Bride first, because it is Se-Young Kim, and it's the same author. And although this is a series, and they only printed the first volume, I do kind of want to be able to read this one before I start this one. 10 volumes, so this is what is going to be the second half. And I don't think I'm going to come across a chainsaw at any point in time this month. So I think I'm just going to keep on going with what I've got and call my Manga Freakathon over, I guess. If I come across a chainsaw, yay, but I don't think I will. Not with what I've got, because I'm not reading Chainsaw Man. I don't have a copy, so, and I don't really think I've got anything with a chainsaw in it. Nope, I can't think of any chainsaws. If you know a BL with a chainsaw, let me know. But yeah, so this is what I've got left to read, but this will be the first one. So I've just had my dinner. I've got a wee bit of snack. It's apple on some peanut butter, and I've got Mr. Mistress Volume 2, so let's see if they actually get it on, because so far there's not been and they've only been and so, well, we'll see how far they get. I've also got Rachel Maxey on doing some Halloween-y stuff, so I'm feeling good. I went on a really nice walk with my friend who I haven't seen for a while, and we had a right good natter, so I've had a really good day. A bit of fresh air, so very productive. I made banana bread, I made soup, my house is immaculate. I feel very good about myself. Well, I have one junk room that I need to still deal with, so yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that and read this instead. Okay, so it has definitely been a few days since I last filmed. It's been a week and a bit, almost 2 weeks actually. I have been reading, I just haven't been vlogging. So I had my sociable day, and then I wasn't feeling great, and then I had a visitor over for almost a week. No, it wasn't quite a week. It was at least half a week. And then I wasn't feeling great after that. So I have been reading, but I've not been doing very much. I've not really been on social media. I've not been very productive. I've been in pain. So, but I have been reading. So I'm going to just talk you through this. This is going to be like my wrap up. So I did finish Mr. Mistress by Riza Shimba, Volume 2, and I don't think they actually got it on at all in the whole of this very, very silly, nonsensical manga. It was almost as though it just ended, and I'm not sure if there was more to it. I don't know if there's like a Volume 3, 4, 5, you know, I don't know if there's more to this that just never got published by Dieu. But I don't have as much interest enough to go and see. But I mean, nothing really happened. There was not really much development. Like maybe a little bit more of an emotional connection between the two, Rei and I can't remember his name. What's his name? Fujimaru, of course, Fujimaru, because Shinbariz does mini Fujimarus. She draws his penis in a cutesy way, and it is rather funny when little Fujimaru has things to say. It's just a very silly sex comedy, basically. So this is a very, very nonsensical sex comedy, but I did kind of enjoy it. It was fun. Then I was going to do, you know, the whole like poll stuff. So technically Devil's Bride was going to be next, but I thought, you know what? We're going to go with these two next. And the one that I thought I want to read more than the other is Wild Honey. Now, I want you to have a look at Wild Honey. Have a good look. Have a look at the spine. Okay. Now, we're looking for something that's not there. Okay. Now I want to show you something. Yeah. To be continued. Motherfuckers. There's no volume 1. There's no 1 written on this anywhere. And you know what? This is a 2-volume series. Junior manga, yeah, rubbish. So we didn't get volume 2. And the thing was, as much as I'm like, I'm not really sure of this art style, this is not my kind of thing, probably not going to enjoy this. This was my shit, man. This was my shit. I love this. It's about a werewolf guy who doesn't realize that when the full moon hits, he's losing his memory and he's going into heat and he wants to mate. And he's mating with the rival student council president. So they're both student council presidents of rival schools, and he's got the hots for this guy who smells delicious to him. And so he's been visiting him at night. So he knows he's a werewolf. He knows that he has ears and a tail, and they're getting it on and being very, very sexy. And there's all these other characters, and there's a whole thing about him taking on the role of the family. And so his uncle, who runs the school, has the power to remove memories. So of course, very Romeo and Juliet, you need to forget. And so that's how it ended. Volume 1 ended with him having his memory taken away and him just having to be heartbroken. And I was like, Jesus, that's a terrible way to end a volume. But if we had the second volume, we would see the conclusion. No, none of that. And the thing is, they had a little history when they were kids, so he's already had his memory taken from him once before. They're like fated. And I was like, damn it. And then there was a little mini ghost story at the end, which was obviously very, what's that movie? Just Like Heaven. Reese Witherspoon. Yeah. Not dead at all, just in a coma. So yeah, Sei Takenaka, I did not think I was going to enjoy this, but I really did. I liked the art style in the end. I was like, oh. And I was fully invested. I was fully invested. And what happened? I have no idea. Good luck with that. So I'm giving you the full warning. Wild Honey is a disappointment in the fact that no one knows. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. So that was kind of annoying because I was really into this and I really enjoyed it, and I was kind of peed off about that. The other one was Wolf God, which is a Doki Doki title by Ai Tenkawa. This does have a number 1, so you know this is a series, and you also know they only published 1 volume. Thank you, Doki Doki, which is of course Junior manga in another guise. I like this interesting thing at the back. She said that during this year, her father became a living national treasure, which is like a really big fucking deal. So, Tenkawa, Oji-san, omedetou gozaimasu. This was interesting. Like, the art style is very, I want to say, G fantasy, Gangan. If you know those those manga, you know, like Black Butler, that kind of thing. You know, it's very of a style of a time period, and it's about this guy who's looking very sexual on the cover because he never looks or feels in any way sexual during this at all, and there is absolutely no BL in this. None whatsoever. None. This is not a BL. So just so you know, Doki Doki did publish a few other things randomly, and this is in no way BL, at least his first volume. Basically, he's on the search for his older brother. It has shades of Loveless with that whole, there's an older brother, he may be dead, he may not, we don't know. There are beings that they're connected with that they are kind of fighting with. So yeah, it's a lot of Loveless shades in here. I'm kind of just making that connection right now. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of you know, beings and stuff. It just is minus the sex. Which is weird because he's on the front cover with no clothes on, and he's kind of sickly throughout most of this book. So I don't really understand. Anyway, so he's like a werewolf, or god of dog, wolves, things, and yet he doesn't ever change. There's no transformation. They use spirit beasts instead, which, like I'm saying, it's like Loveless. Anyway, so this was just volume 1, and I was not enjoying it, and then I kind of got into it, and I was like, oh, this is alright, but I will never know what the conclusion is, because like I said, we got volume 1, and that's it. Annoying. So there we go. That just gave Devil's Bride by Se Young Kim volume 1 as the last one to read. So this was the last thing I had to read, and I'm really glad that I left this to the end because I wanted to kind of have this as a precursor to my buddy read with Katie, so I could get into Se Young Kim's art style and also reading it this way instead of reading it this way, and also reading it this way instead of reading it that way, which is good. You kind of need to get your eye in. This was kind of depressing, and once again, it's volume 1, no volume 2, no volume 3, no volumes other than volume 1. So yeah, I had a couple of like, they feel like false starts because you don't get anything more than the taster of a story, and then you're like, damn it, this is actually kind of interesting. I really liked the art style. I really liked where this story was going. It seemed very complex and interesting, and then there was the start of other things going on. So this other story which was going to help you to understand the first story, or a continuation. It's about like a demon who is basically just living my best life. He is kind of like the scary being in the house in the forest. Cottagecore. 100% has like a great garden, grows stuff. Look, I mean, yes, that's a lovely looking house with a deck and everything. He does grow a lot of roses, and I'm like, cool, but maybe make tinctures and stuff out of that. Definitely thinking about becoming a witch. That would be it's October, this is the best time. I mean, he even has like a potting bench. That's great. Anyway, he lives in the forest on his own. He's a demon, and he doesn't really want to be a demon that sucks the life out of things. He wants to create something. He wants to build a life, so he wants to live like a human. His pal is like, no, you're an idiot. Just be a demon like us. But he's like, no, I want to live a normal life, so I'm going to have a bride. So he puts like flyers in the village, and no one wants to be his bride. And so he adds that he will pay for the bride. And so of course he gets this little kid coming in and being his, because obviously the family want the money. So he ends up with this kid, and the kid is not a girl, obviously. I think this is like one of those things. I'm gonna like draw this. I'm thinking like, is this also gonna happen? Maybe. So yeah, there is a very pretty boy who, obviously, you know, as the reader, you're like, oh dear, this kid is not long for this world. And then he's not, and he dies. And so the demon decides to do what demons do, and he takes his soulless body and reanimates it, and has decided to give it things so that it can become a real boy, because the demon now knows loneliness. Very, very beautiful artwork. I really did enjoy how pretty it is. It reminded me, I was like, oh, I remember when all of this came out. And it's quite interesting to see when these books came out. This one is March 2008. When it was printed, which feels like forever ago. But it's one of those things that you're like, when was it actually written in Korean? That's what I want to know. So yeah, this feels very kind of old-fashioned Korean manhwa. Wolf God. This was interesting. May as well do it. July 2010, which is just around the time when everything went kind of tits up. But I love who the translator is. Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock, but Dwayne has done other things. So yeah, July 2010, which is why we don't have another volume. Wild Honey as well is really interesting. July 2013. So they did continue. They did print a few others afterwards. And this is their like fallow years. I don't know if you can see. There we go. And Jocelyn Allen did the translation, which is probably why I like this. It seems like Jocelyn Allen just, even the most trashy things, I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. Oh, Jocelyn Allen did the translation? Oh, I'm going to like this. So yeah, I don't know why we never got volume 2. That kind of seems annoying. Mr. Mistress, you never really get to know when things like this are published originally. So 2006 in Japan, 2008 by Jew Press. So 2006, it's a long time ago. So some of these are really quite old, but I don't know when this was originally published in the Korean. So that would be kind of something to look into, especially because I'm going to be moving on to my buddy read with Katie, who I think has already started, because I'm filming this like a lot later than when I read some of these, so I need to get a start on this one. But yeah, so this is everything that I read and what I need to read. I've got a wee mini pumpkin there. And I'm kind of glad I did this for Manga Freakathon, except for, of course, I didn't finish and I didn't complete because I didn't get a chainsaw. So I'm kind of gutted, because I do like to try and do this with what I have already without having to purchase things. And also I like to do it with my BL, so I'm almost blackout, but not quite. So a shame anyway. But I will keep reading for the rest of October. So I don't think there'll be I don't think there will be a chainsaw in this or in anything else I read in October, but we'll see. So yeah, that's everything that I read. My favourites are probably MADK. I enjoyed the Vampire and His Pleasant Companions, but I need to get the rest of the series. I've loved my reread of Light Tea Light Club because it's always. So yeah, this is a good wee stack to read. I'm going to continue reading manga for the rest of the month, and if I do find a chainsaw, I'll be letting everyone know. So yeah, this is 36581, and I make videos about BL manga, yaoi, male romance, and all that good stuff. Yeah, if you got to the end of this video, it's probably going to be quite long. Give me a wee emoji down below in some sort of scary Halloweeny being, something like that. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you think of them. So yeah, take care everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!